Hello, everyone. For those who just have joined us in this channel, I am Attorney Edgar Pasqua. I will be accompanying you in your learning of the law. This is part 7.4 of the lecture series on election law, which is a semester's equivalent of a class in the law school, although this is in the form of a summarized discussion. This is still part 7, the fourth part of it, which discusses relevant activities during election day. And we are on the last part of it. I am referring to canvassing. So, what is canvassing? Canvassing is the official and mathematical process of aggregating, consolidating, and the tallying of votes received by candidates based on the official election returns from the voting precincts. What happens here is that voting precincts submit or transmit the election returns to the canvassers, the board of canvassers, in such a way that it would allow them to consolidate all of such returns to come up with the specific results for the particular municipality or city or district or region, for example. Ano? So this is what canvassing does. It is the tallying of what has already been tallied in the polling place level. Hmm. So the matter of canvassing is a ministerial duty, meaning the board of canvassers do not interpret the votes. It's a mere mathematical reckoning of the returns that they receive. A canvassing board performs a purely ministerial function, that of compiling and adding the results as they appear in the returns transmitted to it. The canvassers are to be satisfied of the genuineness of the returns, namely that the paper presented to them or the data presented to them are not forged and spurious, that they are return, that they are returns, and that they are signed by the proper officers. When so satisfied, they may not reject any returns because of informalities in them or because of illegal and fraudulent practices in the elections. Thus, they cannot pass on the validity of an election return, much less exclude it from the canvass on the ground that the votes cast in the precinct from whence it comes from are illegal. That's in the case of Lukman versus Dimaporo. So meaning the canvassers do not practically decide on a matter emanating from their investigation of matters other than the mathematical tally of the results of the returns. No, they cannot ascertain the genuineness of the truthfulness or the veracity of the contents per se of each voter's ballot, for example, or any other matters that other than the mathematical reckoning of the ballots or of the election returns. In Tatlong Hari versus Comelec, Supreme Court said that what is involved in the case at bar is purely mathematical and or mechanical in nature, relating to the mechanical error in the operation of the adding machine, which is admitted by all the parties. It does not involve any opening of the ballot boxes, examination and appreciation of ballots, and election returns. A said error was discovered sometime after the proclamation. All that is required is to convene the Board of Canvassers to rectify the error it inadvertently committed in order that the true will of the voters will be effected. The correction of manifest mistake in mathematical addition calls for a mere clerical task of the Board of Canvassers. So again, emphasizing that what the Board of Canvassers can do are matters related to the computation or the tallying of the election returns. No, It's a consolidated tally of election returns. Um, how does this affect um, uh, ano, elections? This canvassing would facilitate the expeditious um, determination of the votes cast in the election, because in instances generally it is in the board of canvassers level that the proclamation of the winning candidates happen, no? So canvassing for the president and the vice president, well, we know this from your constitutional law one, that canvassing is done in Congress. The returns of every election per president and the vice president, duly certified by the Board of Canvassers of each province or city, shall be transmitted to the Congress, directed to the President of the Senate. Upon receipt of the certificates of canvass, the President of the Senate shall not later than 30 days after the day of the election open all certificates in the presence of the Senate and the House of Reps in joint public session, and the Congress, upon determination of the authenticity and due execution thereof in the manner provided by law, they will canvass the votes. So ito yung nangyayaring transmittal of the provincial or uh, city board of canvassers to the Congress of the returns for the president and the vice president. It's a Congress that canvasses the votes cast during the election for these two high offices. So after proclamation, after canvass, of course, there is proclamation and oath taking. Any matter relating to contests relating to election returns and qualification of the president and the vice president are determined by the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, which is composed of the Supreme Court acting as a PET, or the Presidential Electoral Tribunal. In the case of Texon versus Comelec, if you recall, this election involving FPJ questioning his qualification for office because of his citizenship, it says that the rules categorically speak of the jurisdiction of the tribunal, the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, over contests relating to the election returns and qualifications of the president and the vice president alone. They do not refer to the qualifications of candidates, meaning for the PET to come in, there should have been already proclamation as well as the oath taking and the assumption of office. They are no longer candidates. Hmm. So next is the canvassing for members of the Senate. The canvassing for the members of the Senate differs from the canvassing for the members of House of Representatives. No, the COMELEC shall exercise the following powers and functions: enforce and administer laws and regulations relative to the conduct of election, plebiscite, initiative, referendum, and recall. That's the general provision. Um, in RA 8436, which was amended by 9369, the Automation of Elections Law, says that the chairman and the members of the COMELEC sitting on bank shall compose the National Board of Canvassers for senators. It shall canvass the votes for senators by consolidating the results contained in the data storage devices submitted by the district, provincial, and city boards of canvassers. Um, Thereafter, the National Board of Canvassers shall proclaim the winning candidate for senators. So kung ang presidente, ang kanilang canvassers are Congress, ang Senate, ang kanilang Board of Canvassers is the COMELEC on bank from the transmittals of the provincial or the city Board of Canvassers. For the members of the House of Representatives, the canvassers vary. It could be the provincial board of canvassers, the city board of canvassers, or the district board of canvassers, as the case may be. Okay. You refer to RA 7166. So for the party list, on the other hand, which is with the House of Representatives, um, because it involves a nationwide tally, it cannot be done. The canvassing and the proclamation cannot be done at the level of the provincial or municipal level. So it's the COMELEC sitting en banc, which constitute the National Board of Canvassers for the party list representatives, and they shall also proclaim the winning nominees. Sorry, they shall proclaim the nominees of the party list who obtained the required seats, no, for Congress. Ito yung mga 2%ers, no. So for questions relating to the um, election returns and qualifications of the members of Senate and the House of Representatives, including the nominees of the House of Representatives in the party list, you have the Senate or House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal, SET or HRET. The Senate and the House of Representatives shall have their own electoral tribunals, which shall be the sole judge of all contests relating to the elections, returns, and qualifications of the respective members. The membership, 9 members, 3 of whom shall be justices of the Supreme Court, that is the judicial component, and the remaining 6 shall be members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, that is the legislative component. Um, the jurisdiction of the SET and HRET has been clarified in several cases, including this case of Liwayway Vinson's Chato, where the court said that once a winning candidate has been proclaimed, taken his oath, and assumed office as a member of the House of Reps, and in any case also Senate, the COMELEC's jurisdiction over election contests relating to their elections, returns, and qualifications, and the HRET or SET, as the case may be, begins. Okay. So for city, provincial, and regional officials, the canvassing would be as follows. The City Board of Canvassers for city level officials, mayors, vice mayors, city councilors. For the provincial Board of Canvassers, the provincial level officials, governor, vice governor, provincial board members. The regional Board of Canvassers, this is for the BARM, no? They're the BARM law. You have the regional Board of Canvassers. For the regional, city, and provincial officers, election contests are under the jurisdiction of the COMELEC, um, still under Section 2C9 of the 87 Constitution. For municipal officers, the election contest is somehow different because this is with the um, this is with the municipal is it the trial court, the regional trial court. Sorry. So the regional trial court has jurisdiction over contests relating to the elections of uh, ano, municipal officers, RTC. For the barangay, it is with the MTC. Kung sa municipal is RTC, sa barangay, municipal or metropolitan trial courts ang may jurisdiction for such contests, no? So, where do you appeal? Of course, the appellate jurisdiction belongs with COMELEC. The COMELEC has appellate jurisdiction over all contests involving elective municipal officials decided by the trial courts of general jurisdiction or involving elective barangay officials decided by the trial courts of limited jurisdiction. That's for municipal and barangay. No? The decisions of the court may be appealed to the COMELEC. The decisions of the COMELEC are final and not appealable anymore. Okay? Except of course kung may grave abuse of discretion, certiorari. Okay? So you look at the table of jurisdiction as to the canvas of election returns and the venue for election contest, no? Subsequently canvas. Hmm. Now we go to proclamation. Of course, canvassing has commenced. It has ended. The board of canvassers have determined who the winning candidates are. Proclamation follows after. Proclamation is the official declaration by the board of canvassers that marks the end of the vote counting and legally recognizes the winning candidate. Okay. For some offices like president, vice president, senators, including also the party list, no, kasi national in scope, the proclamation does not happen in anywhere else rather than the National Board of Canvassers for the members of the House of Reps and for the Senate. For the President, it is the Senate acting or Congress acting as Board of Canvassers. No? But for the other officers, proclamation may be done at the municipal or provincial level. Municipal or provincial level. So what's the legal significance of proclamation? Well, proclamation determines who the owners are, who the winners are, and by virtue of which oath is administered. So it is a prerequisite to holding public office. Okay. Secondly, there is a shifting of jurisdiction. Matters relating to controversies are translated into quo warranto or election contests or whatever remedies you want to avail of. And there is a difference in the remedies, of course, as also when there is a difference in jurisdiction. Maybe from COMELEC, pumupunta na sa PET or SET or HRET. Okay? So, or the court, as the case may be, no? So, the value of proclamation is in the case of Reyes versus Comelec, a 2013 case, which says that without the proclamation, the petitioner's oath of office is likewise baseless. Nag-oath ka pero hindi ka pa na-proclaim. And without a precedent oath of office, there can be no valid effective resumption or assumption of office. Ikaw ay isang de facto officer. No? In this case of Lim Kai Chong versus Comelec, Supreme Court said that once a winning candidate has been proclaimed, taken his oath, and assumed office, the member of the House of Representatives, the jurisdiction of the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal begins. Ito yung the same with Liwayway Vincent Chato. If this case of Reyes versus Comelec speaks of oath and proclamation as a precedent to the holding of an office, itong kay Lim Kachong confirms indeed the shifting of jurisdiction and the remedies after proclamation. The same application with Liwayway Vincent Chato versus Comelec. Who will proclaim? It's Congress. For Congress, they are designated to proclaim the president and the vice president after canvassing. For Comelec acting as a national board of canvassers, they proclaim the senators and the party list representatives. Okay? For the local boards of canvassers, the provincial, city, or municipal board of canvassers proclaims the local officials in their respective jurisdiction. So again, sorry, I mentioned, I think I recall kanina, I said that HR is canvassed by, did I mention it? By the National Board of Canvassers. No, the House of Representatives are canvassed in the provincial or municipal level, as the case may be. Provincial level or municipal level. Or in the city level. Okay. An oath of office is essential because it is your commitment to assume office as a public officer, no? You know, if you fail to take your oath of office, there is in BP 881 a deadline, no? The office of any official elected who fails to or refuses to take his oath of office within 6 months from his proclamation shall be considered vacant unless his failure is for a cause or causes beyond his control, fortuitous event. So There is a doctrine, void proclamation doctrine, where the proclamation is null and void. The proclamation is no proclamation at all, and the proclaimed candidate's assumption of office cannot deprive the COMELEC of the power to make such a declaration of nullity. This is the case of Suligin versus COMELEC, 2006 case. So I hope you got something from this video. Um, thank you for um, viewing, and I hope you learned something from this. The next video shall be on the matters of election contest or issues or controversies. Thank you and have a great day.